Hiya, kids and cadets. Welcome back to Tommy Time. Appreciate you coming out. Decided to mess around today with this Murray. It's a 2003. I've done a couple of videos on it. 17.5 overhead valve. We got this thing to start. I picked it up from a buddy of mine. He said it had stopped working. It smoked and then quit. So we kind of went through this thing. I only could get, excuse me, 75 psi out of this. So let's discuss what I've done so far. Tried out a new tool that I got, and this was the perfect situation to mess with this leak down tester. I just got this from the Big Jungle company for about 25 bucks. I figured I would use it on this to try to figure out why we were not getting a good 95 to 110 psi. So the company that I bought it from is called Joy Fans. They actually sent me two of these cards, and as you can see from this advertisement, they've got a nice building, everything's clean, and there's nothing on the floor. They do a great job in their warehouse. So they want good feedback. If you guys want one of these cards, let me know. So when you're looking for tools, these cheap China tools, basically there's a couple manufacturers of this. These happen to be a set of star bit sockets here. So you'll have a couple manufacturers and probably 50 distributors. They buy in bulk, they put their name on them and sell them. When you go to look for this stuff on AliExpress, there'll be 50 sellers and they all look the same. Blue case, everything's exactly the same. So let me bring you back to this Joy fan. It kind of fell over here, but we're gonna still check it out. So as you can see, the Joy fan sticker does not fit correctly in the allotted spot. So I hope the tool lasts longer than their choice of sticker size. You can see here it doesn't fit, so they're probably like, tough shit, we got one sticker size, it's going on there regardless. So you get a couple of adapters with it, the hose. So we'll discuss what I found out with this Joy fan thing. Brought my compression gauge out to double check my compression. And same thing here, you'll have a cutout. And whatever distributor's selling it, they'll put their sticker in here. They didn't even bother here. This is just a part number. So you get the big picture. So I've never really dealt with one of these leak downs. It's not a tool that I use. So I kind of read the instructions. I think I got them around here. Just basic instructions. Yeah, I think they're inside. Actually, I don't have the instructions out here. So you basically find TDC. I had the valve cover off. I adjusted the valves first before I mess with this, thinking maybe I had a loose valve. They were pretty close. I made an adjustment on the intake and exhaust, got those perfect. Tried my compression gauge again, still no real improvement in my PSI. So I threw the leak down on it. So you take your compressed air, goes in here, and then you um, screw in. There's another piece that goes to this, a quick connect. This goes into the cylinder like your compression tester, and then you got your quick connect here. Those go together. So basically what you're doing is putting air pressure in the cylinder once it's at TDC, and first you fill the system up. You get your needle to set, and it'll show you what your compressed air pressure is. That's not really important. What's important is over here. So you get your needle to set, and it should stay there. And if it starts going back, then you got a leak in the system. Well, I had a big leak. What I would do is turn the engine, and I could hear the air coming out either the exhaust or it would come out of the intake, and I'd get it to TDC again, and I could hear hissing down below, it sounded like. Um, so I knew I was leaking air pressure down below. So I decided to take the head off and investigate. I had a hunch I had a blown head gasket, and I'll show you what I came across. Just looking at the piston here, I see some scarring, but I think that was just me wiping some carbon away. So I've got the head here. So we'll discuss this. It came off fairly easy. This didn't take me long to tear this thing down, but I think you'll be able to see it better on the block here what the issue is. You can probably see it. You see the gas bypass here. It left a little mark there. And you can see the gaskets deteriorated in this area. So I was losing compression through here. The oil left a little brown stain here, and you can actually see that the gasket's kind of worn out or cracked right there. So that was my leaking point. The compression was bypassing here and then going into the this push rod section. Remember, when you're putting the push rods on, the aluminum one goes on the bottom, and the steel push rod goes up top. When you're reinstalling this, you can tell the difference. The aluminum looks aluminum-ish. The steel one's darker. Don't get those crossed up. So like I said, it didn't take me long to get this thing off. I took the exhaust off, which you remember was just held on with one bolt. We'll discuss that. And then the intake tube here, two bolts holding the intake on. So this wasn't much. I think somebody's been in here before. It looks like the cylinder walls have been worked on. If you can't see it now, but maybe you can. I think somebody's honed this thing out. I can see some cross hatching there, hashing. So I just ran inside to the big jungle company. Now you can see the cross hashing there. For $10, you get a head gasket, You get a couple other gaskets, valve cover gasket, like 5 gaskets besides the head gasket. So I'm going to try this for a $10 investment, try to put another head gasket on it and see if I get compression. So that's where we are on this. Have you guys messed with any of these single cylinder Briggs tractor engines? This is the first one I've messed with as far as doing a head gasket. I've messed with the smaller pushers, but nothing this big. So let me know what you think. He had oil consumption issue as well, so maybe we had a lot of it leaking through here, it looks like. So here's the exhaust. Only one bolt was holding off. One was broken off here, but the stud was broken off in the head, and I was able to get the broken piece off right there. So I'll need another bolt. I need another gasket down there. So I got to walk around and see if I've got another exhaust like this. Yeah, because this thing was banging around, just held on with one bolt. I got some metal damage there. You can see what it did to the threads, kind of screwed up the threads. Anyway, so that's all I got to report on the 03. I'm going to order from the Big Jungle. Maybe that'll come in a few days. I'll do a wrap up video on this. Might degrease it here. It's a partly cloudy day today, not a bad day. Degrease the cover here. A lot of oil all the way around this thing. Maybe try to cover up the cylinder and degrease this thing while I got it all torn down. A lot of debris here. Clean that up. It'll help the engine cool. Get rid of all this snot that doesn't belong. So I think that's where we are with this. Thanks for coming out. Oh, I'll clean that up. See all the build up there. So you can see a little bit right there where it was bypassing right through this area. So this will all get cleaned up. Got some carbon. Looks like the threads here are still usable for the muffler. Anyway, that's all she wrote. 2003 Murray 17.5. Thanks for coming out. We'll do one more. I'll get it all back together, and before I start up, I'll get you on board with it. So far, I like the leak down tester. I think that'll be helpful in the future. I think it was a good $25 investment, being able to fill the cylinder with compressed air and figure out where it's leaking out at TDC. I think is beneficial. I wish I had this 3 years ago when I started messing with the small engines. I could probably have done a lot of better diagnosing than just scratching my head and not really having a solution to the issue. Okay, as always, thanks for coming out. Appreciate you checking out my channel. Have a good day today. Tip your waitress and wait staff. We'll keep plowing ahead. Mr. Chicken and I appreciate it all the time. You guys coming out, commenting. Let me know what you think on this. Murray, have you guys come across this blowout in that area? Maybe that's a common area where it blows out. Or is it random places on these, or hardly ever any blowouts? Let me know what your experience is. Maybe the 17.5 is a turd and they have known head gasket issues. But definitely showing itself right there where the turd mark is left behind. You don't want to see turd marks, or skid marks as they say. Have a good day today.